Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast. It's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic. You can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com. Or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Dude, no! Oh!
All right, here we go.
Okay, I just for the love of fucking God.
How deflated do we sound?
I was ready to rail against the machine, and now I'm just ready to lie in front of the fucking train. I'm just, I mean, it's just there's only so much of this film I can take, let alone like trying to launch into it three times.
Yeah.
But I just want to. Where did we cut off when your computer shit the bed for the second time? It's the last thing you heard me saying. I was talking about IMDb.
Yeah, it was. You said it was 8.1 on IMDb.
Yeah, and
98% Rotten Tomatoes, and that people just absolutely love it.
And I don't get it. And I'm looking through the comments on IMDb to try to find somebody, see if there are other people like us who just don't understand why everybody's raving about this film. And my favorite review was this one guy just posted, I just took a 12-minute shit. You guys want to give that an 8 out of 10? And I was like, for me, that was fucking gold right there. It just sums up my entire frustration with.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like Magnolia. This is Magnolia all over again. Everybody raving about Magnolia, and I watch it.
All right, hold on. Do not compare this to Magnolia.
It's the exact
that is still a review that's coming down the pipeline. Maybe we can do a Paul Thomas Anderson kind of like maybe 2-3 films. Just Boogie Nights. Maybe we could do Inherent Vice, his new film. There Will Be Blood. Maybe we can do a whole kind of resume of his films. But please don't do that to Magnolia.
Add Magnolia to the list of the Scott versus Joey shows.
The only thing that these two films have in common is the fucking runtime. Okay? That's it.
The overblown hype of a film that doesn't deserve it. That's what I'm talking about here.
Well, all right. If you're just basing it on that, according to you, yeah. Most people really enjoyed Magnolia.
Whether or not you agree with me, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying now.
Yes. Now, you want to talk a little bit about Linklater, getting into this review of the Oscar-nominated film? This film was nominated not only for Best Picture, but Best fucking Screenplay.
Really?
Best Original Screenplay. Yeah. Yeah. This is up for Best Writing.
And Patricia Arquette, she's also nominated for Best Actress or Supporting Actress.
Can I tell you?
She better not walk away with anything, because she is not that good in this movie.
She gets it. She better fucking run. Can I tell you the number when I'm leafing through these Rotten Tomato reviews and these IMDb reviews and these people just jerking off over this film? Can I tell you the one thing that's irritating the living shit out of me?
What's that?
The big big cheer about this film, trying to ignore it, trying to deflect from the fact that the only reason this film is getting any kind of acclaim is because it was shot over 12 years and you were getting to watch a kid grow up.
Yeah, I mentioned that last week, and you're right on the money. It's nominated for its accomplishment only.
And everybody's trying to deflect that so that it doesn't look like they bought into the gimmick. And every single review, every single person that's praising this film says it's so real.
Yeah,
it's like the dialogue's real, and you believe they're real people.
It's stiff. Dialogue is stiff.
It's real fucking boring. Yeah. Oh, it's so
it's like
real.
Life.
Yeah,
boring.
It's real. Yeah, it's so fucking real. I'm falling to fucking asleep.
And they take you in a couple of directions where they make you think. I mean, this is like in the film's infancy too. They make you think something's going to happen, and nothing ever does.
Dude, I started having the vivid fantasies every 15 minutes in the film. You have no idea. I'm watching, and then like they show them like spray painting under the bridge. I'm like, all right, and now they're gonna find a dead body. Yeah. And then later on, when by the way, Patricia Arquette's character, what the hell's her name? I lost my page. I had all the facts right in front of me. What's the character's name? Bad mom.
Bad decision maker. Her name is just Mom. Yeah, it's that original.
She doesn't fucking deserve a name. Mom and Dad don't have names. One of my favorite things.
Although they do refer to Ethan Hawke as Mason Sr.
But but in the credits he's Dad.
He's just Dad.
Right.
And they might refer to her in her real name, but God, if I remember.
One of the big sells for me is talk about an engrossing film. Come watch Patricia Arquette drive every man she marries to drink.
Yeah.
Literally every guy that she manages to snag, within 5 years they're just trying to drown their fucking life in a vodka bottle or a beer keg. That's it. Every one of her relationships ends with, "Hey, you want to know another thing?" That's fucking.
Oh, I love her second husband, where she's crying in the garage, and she's like, "Get in the house!" The boys come home, "Get in the house!" And he's like, "What's going on, Mom?" He says, "Your mother fell," and she's being all dramatic about it.
And everybody's praising this film for the writing. It's everything's like so real, and everything's telegraphed as fucking shit. She marries the guy, the husband, like the professor is like, "Oh, okay,
right.
This is gonna happen," and then like one of the next scenes you see is him pouring himself a drink, and like, "Oh, he's pouring himself a drink. I wonder where this is gonna lead." And it's just, you gotta be fucked. Of course he's gonna end up being a fucking alcoholic. But yeah, there's the scene too where he pulls up to the liquor store with the kids, like, "I'm just gonna go in case we have like company this weekend," and walks in the liquor store. I'm waiting for like blood to hit the window. Next thing you know, that like there's like a coroner's investigation.
And one kid leans to the other and goes, "He says that every weekend." But we never have visitors.
I'm waiting for him to molest one of the kids.
Exactly. Every single turn of this movie, like when they're teenagers, 12, 13 years old. They're at some one of the older kids. He's like a senior, junior. They're at like his house, and they're like chopping wood with karate kicking it. And at the end, the whole time you think something's gonna happen.
Well, the one part they're taking like saw blades and throwing them into like sheetrock.
Like sheetrock, yeah.
I'm like, oh, someone's gonna end up with that in the fucking head. And
someone's gonna end up with their head.
Body. They're gonna have to make a blood pact, and
right.
Billy's gonna come knock at the door. "You better not tell anybody, Mason." And Mason's gonna have this moral dilemma. No. Mason's moral dilemma is, should I do my homework? Fuck you.
Right. And it's like you think someone's gonna lose a fucking eye, finger, whatever. Then, at the very, very end of that scene, you're thinking, all right, this is where shit's gonna go down, because he has the kid hold up a board, okay? If we had video, we don't have video tonight, but he's holding the board up probably maybe 6 or 8 inches away from his own face and chest. And the one kid says, "I call this the death punch." He punches through the wood, end scene. And it's just, that's it. No one gets hurt.
Even earlier,
The kid doesn't end up with a shard of wood in his heart. Like nothing.
even even earlier, we're like, yeah, we're gonna have some whores coming over later. It's like, oh, one of them's gonna be his sister, and there's gonna be awkwardness. Yeah, or maybe he ends up getting a venereal disease from one of these girls, or knocks her up, and that's gonna be a whole thing. No, that's not gonna happen, because that would be something interesting in this fucking miserable life that we're watching.
Yeah.
What was the other part where Dad takes them to his new wife's parents' house for the weekend, and he goes like, "Come on, I bought you a shotgun. We're gonna teach you all kids how to shoot." It's like, oh yeah, someone's gonna get shot accidentally. There's gonna be an accident,
and they're all responsible. It's like, what the fuck?
Or Grandpa's gonna get liquored up and start make Mason shoot a glass off his head. Come on, something's gonna happen here, right? Right? Not a goddamn thing's gonna happen here.
No, what happens is he learns gun safety. He learns how to shoot. The sister, at any point you think she's going to become a crack addict whore, go into porn. None of that ever happens.
There's even one part where I was like, okay, Dad's gonna come out gay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right, that's cool. His father, he's finding himself. That's why the marriage didn't last. And then it's like, no, they're just buds in a band.
Yeah. That was my first thing. Oh, it's like an awkward conversation. So what? How do you guys know each other? Well, we're kind of close friends. No, that would be too interesting. That would,
because doesn't he say something along the lines like, "I'm not your pony" or something like that? I'm like, okay, he's gay. I got it. That's fine. It's fine. I'm sure the kids will be fine with it.
Like when you walk into the house where his roommate is like on the couch and the place is a mess, he ends up moving an ashtray because it's got like some drug paraphernalia on it. It's like, oh, you can't do this to me, blah blah blah. It's like, oh, this is gonna start some conversations, or down the line no, that leads nowhere.
Nowhere. As a matter of fact, not only does it go nowhere, the daughter ends up in a room by herself. The men are kind of hanging out on the couch, full asleep. That's it. Nothing. Just a fun old weekend with Dad.
Yeah, the reason we're watching a 2-hour and 46-minute film is, one, so we can watch everybody get a year older every 12 or 20 minutes, and two, so during those sequences, we can make sure we inject something that tells us what year it is by pop culture references. Let's have the little girl sing the latest pop song. Well, I forget which one it was, but it was still annoying. Or
it was a Britney Spears song, wasn't it?
Spears song, yeah. Or let's stop everything else so we can watch young Mason get online to get the new Harry Potter book. Why? Because it's happening this year, and it won't be happening 5 years from now. It's topical before we even print the film. And you will be on the edge of your seat, waiting for the next hairstyle change.
That happens. Absolutely happens.
Holy shit.
They're playing video games or playing a fucking Wii. It's like, okay, it's 2006. I get it.
Joey, what thrilled you more? Mason's shaved head or Mom's bangs? Really, which one made you go? Which one did you get the larger reaction? It was like, oh shit, bangs. For me, it was the bangs. The shaved head is nothing. I was like, what the fuck?
Might have been the bangs, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the hair grows back. He's shaved head, hair grows back.
Yeah, bangs don't go away. They're there. You can't fix that.
No.
You have to wait.
No.
Yeah.
Of course not. Are you kidding?
No, that's gone. And every time I see Patricia Arquette, all I can think of is the chick that they killed on Star Trek: The Next Generations. In a bad way, not in a good way, but in a like, yeah, that's why they killed her off early in the series. That kind of way. Like, when are they going to kill Mom? That's all there's that one point too. Mom's got to die. Mom has to, not just because I hate her as a person, but because, and I hate everybody in this fucking film because they're so boring. It's so real. It's so real. I mean, they talk the way real people talk. Yeah, they talk the way real people talk. So you know what that means? I'm stuck at this fucking table at a bowling alley listening to this guy rant to his kids about how he hates Bush and giving them life lessons. You know what? I've sat next to that table. I laugh at that table, and it's no. I don't need to be at that fucking table where I can't turn away and go, all right, by the way, let me talk to the people that actually interest me in my life. No, I'm stuck with these fucking idiots.
No, you're right. Everything that happens in the film, it's like, if you really wanted that real life interaction, you could just talk with people you don't like.
I sit on my porch and watch my neighbor do stupid fucking things.
Right.
Yeah,
You should have filmed that when you moved in. You'd have an Academy Award nominated film right now.
I could have had a 4-hour movie. I could have had like a 3-hour movie right now of just my idiot neighbor yelling at people for parking in the shoveled snow spot every year.
Yeah.
Or his kid hanging out near the young children in the playground way too closely. That I could have given you that, but I wouldn't. You know why? Because it's fucking sad and boring.
You know what I find hilarious? I find just the scenario of there's another filmmaker out there that's doing the exact same thing, and Linklater beat him to it, and his movie is infinitely better, but we're never going to see it because Linklater's came out first.
Everybody.
I've been filming my movie over 12 years too.
I'm going to bring it up on my website in front of me, but I don't know if I'll read any of it because it angers me too much. These Rotten Tomato reviews, it's fucking insane. It's like, it shows about the compression of time and lapse. It's like a time lapse study. No, it's people growing older on camera. We've fucking seen this before. I watched you. It's called Haley Joel Osment. We've seen children grow up on film before, not in the same movie sometimes.
Right.
But you know what? How is this a new fucking thing? Because it's all in one movie. But you know what's missing now? Linklater. Let's talk about Linklater.
Later. I think it's Linklater.
Later,
Anyway.
Link fuckhead. Link asshole.
Okay.
Let's talk about Link.
Linklater.
How about Link lackluster? Let's do that.
Sure.
Now, go back to the beginning. The reason he's on the map. He came out during the 90s independent film craze, where everybody had video cameras and like low budget filmmaking was it was like the next phase after like the 70s. Like the 80s didn't really 80s was all direct to video shit. Then the 90s hit and you started getting this kind of art house independent film stuff again. And he came out with Slacker.
That's right.
Now, I want to compare Slacker to Boyhood in one way. In both films, there's no real plot. And anybody wants to tell me that there is a plot in Boyhood can go fuck themselves, because I watched the whole thing. There's no plot. There's a progression of characters, but the only plot is watching people live sections of their day-to-day life over a 12-year period. That's not a fucking plot.
It's not even a movie in most eyes.
No, in most eyes, it's fucking genius. In most eyes, it's Citizen Kane.
It's realistically why it'll probably win Best Picture, too.
Now, Slacker's not Linklater's first film, but it's the first major film that really got him attention as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Now, Slacker, again, no plot, but Slacker had something that this film didn't have, where things that happened in the film were interesting.
That is true, too.
And in a lot of cases, downright bizarre. It was eclectic. And it was like a bunch of vignettes, a bunch of short pieces.
Right.
And now I've never sat through Dazed and Confused all the way. I didn't really care for it. I think most of the shit he did after Slacker was just, okay, now people are going to pay me to make movies. I'll make movies. And I don't think anything was really that inspired. You, I know, have a problem with his Waking Life.
Yes.
And Scanner Darkly because of the animation process, which really...
Well, the animation in Waking Life I just found more or less to be annoying.
A gimmick.
Okay? It's very gimmicky.
Yeah.
The animation in Scanner Darkly could have been... I don't want to say revolutionary because it's not. Because it's just rotoscope. But it could have been something if Charles Schwab wasn't using the exact same fucking animation for their commercials for a whole year before the fucking movie came out.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
By the time the movie came out, it was less interesting than it could have ever been before.
I think Scanner Darkly got less attention for using the same thing that it did in Waking Life. But unlike Waking Life, I feel that in a Scanner Darkly, it actually works as positively as a device for a film that's about identity and drug abuse. I thought it actually worked for that film, where it wasn't actually. It was less gimmicky than it was for Waking Life, I thought. So It's ironic.
Now, I mean, I've seen the film. I thought the film was actually okay, Scanner Darkly, and it just annoys me that, I don't know, maybe the film just took too long to make. Charles Schwab jumped on the bandwagon, probably used the same animators that did a Scanner Darkly. I never looked it up, but it it just felt very gimmicky at the time.
And I'm a little biased because I read the book before. I'm a Philip K. Dick fan,
Sure.
outside of fucking Blade Runner bullshit, and so I'm a little biased in that case. Two things that now three. Originally, there were two things I could never forgive Linklater for.
Okay.
And that would be School of Rock and remaking the fucking.
I still like School of Rock.
Fuck Jack Black and fuck anything that actually gave him momentum in his career, and he remade the Bad News Bears.
Oh God, he did?
Yes, that was him. He didn't write it, but he directed it. Now, as far as remakes goes, it wasn't that bad, but still, I don't care if it was it wasn't a bad film. Still didn't have to be done. Fuck you.
God damn it.
Now, everybody praising this film. Oh, it's just like a slice of. Well, it's not a slice of life. It's a fucking huge heaping helping of life for 3 hours. But everything's so real. Everything's so. It's yeah. You know what? Oh, gee. Wait a minute. You mean single mothers have it hard? Wow. Thanks for opening my. You want to see a film about single mothers that's actually a film and also feels realistic? Just go back to the fucking 80s and watch Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Scorsese.
Well, yeah.
There, right there. And he didn't have to do it in real fucking time, and he didn't have to gimmicky shit, and he still got the full effect. Slightly different story, of course, but there are films out there about this kind of subject matter that are more engaging, more interesting, and have more going for them because there's an actual fucking screenplay. He didn't write a screenplay. He wrote a couple of scenes every 12 years around cultural phenomenons, and then it's like, yeah, but this year, the dad will take them out to the butterfly park and thrill as the children identify butterflies. But Scott, you're being so heartless. This is a touching moment with the father and the children getting together. That's wonderful. That's all this fucking film is just moments in this life, and nothing is connected beyond anything except this increasingly. I'm sorry, am I the only person that thinks that both the children? Am I a bad person if I say that the sister in the film gets kind of ugly as she gets older?
She gets very porn starry.
Now,
like not like the really good like the ones that can't get work. So she ends up on some dude's couch and like some fake video casting porn.
Yeah, I feel bad for saying it because it sounds sexist. But
I think what I said was worse.
I think ugly was worse. But I'm being hard on myself. But if you watch the film's sexist because he takes these two young kids, right?
Right.
He doesn't know what they're going to look like in 12 years.
No.
So the daughter gets a little awkward. She does. Now, when I say that, I mean as far as not as far as real life. I mean, it's a real person. There's nothing wrong with her. In a film setting, she is. By the way, I've seen a lot of reviews where they comment on Patricia Arquette gaining weight over the years.
Yeah. And
like that's a bit. She got heavy. Yeah, it's called fucking aging, asshole.
So what? And it is over 12 years.
Right.
If that's what you have a problem with, you should really stand back and take a closer look at the film.
Right. But look at this.
Stop it.
Look at this. So we have the
Idiots.
sister and the sister and the brother, who as they grow up, just aren't. They're not pretty boys. They're normal people. They have flaws. They're not pretty. They're just actual. I'm sure there's like they're not ugly. I'm just saying that they don't look like Brad Pitt or what have you. So you see these children actually growing up, and the stepchildren too for a few years, where they're growing into real people, and you can't really control that. Then, as Mason leaves the household, every other girl he bumps into and ends up getting even kind of relationship with or talking to are fucking picked right out of the casting book.
Oh yeah, because they
models.
could.
Yeah.
Who are we going to get this year?
Right. So
it was easy. That was easy.
So real life stops at Mason's door because everybody else out there is like, okay, now we need someone really attractive because him and his sister. So let's get the really hot girls because there's all these hot girls are going to end up being attracted, interested in this this muttering, awkward, brooding, socially inept fuck that I'm supposed to be interested in.
No, not in the least.
And there's nothing I love more than spending 2.5 hours watching this kid trip through life and his sister, ignoring maybe it's because I'm 41 years old and I've dealt with kids growing up in the past years through relationships,
Right.
Or relationship, where watching these kids grow up and in every other scene, just ignoring all the helpful, positive, real advice given to them by adults. It's like, fuck this kid. What all right, now he gets molested by the gym coach, right? Yeah.
Even his manager at like the local fast food joint,
what the fuck was that?
Was creepy, and nothing happened. He comes to his graduation at the end of the movie wearing a pink shirt, which I think is stupid in itself.
Yeah.
And he gives him a bond. He's like, it's better than cash. And then he's very, very effeminate.
Yeah. So
and he's like, oh, that's your mom. It's like, don't try and sell that this guy's interested in his mom, because he's totally interested in him.
And again, this film. Oh, it's so lifelike. Yeah, it's so lifelike that they purposely make the manager of this fast food restaurant somebody so inferior to Mason, shorter, effeminate, awkward, saying stupid things, trying to, I think I could promote you to fry cook, and there's a lot more responsibility, but more money too. And make sure it's ludicrous stuff that he can obviously mock, because these jobs are fucking mockery. Yeah, because that's everyone managing fast food restaurants are losers, right? Fuck you. Really? Yeah, this is a slice of middle class America. This movie's a fucking insult and a joke on every fucking level. And again, you talk about the moment where you're just waiting for something to happen. There's a scene where he's with his photography teacher, who, again, in the real world, the teacher doesn't take the talented kid who's slacking off aside and give him a life lesson on this is how you need to be better and stuff. No, that teacher has more things to worry about in his fucking life than one asshole kid that won't do his lessons. You know what he does? He moves on to the kids that are actually doing the work. He doesn't give a fuck about the slacker kid. So that doesn't happen really fucking either. But then he tells the kid, you don't like football, right? Yeah, well, guess what? You're going to go take 300 shots at the football game. I want you to do photography there. And I'm like, all right, great. He goes to the football game. He's taking photos, but he's bored. He doesn't want to do it. He starts taking pictures off the side. And next thing you know, we're in a remake of Blowout. Yeah, or Blow Up, either one.
It's like thinking, okay, he's going to take pictures of some cheerleaders. He's going to get some racy shots, maybe some upskirts. Nothing.
Or even better, like they're in the developing room, says, hey, that girl, who's in the background? That girl leaving with that guy. She's been missing a week. Did you know that? What? Get the mystery van. Yeah, anything. No, instead, everybody that we put in these people's we have everybody else they meet is such a caricature, as in unrealistic. Like when they're the one time where they're going door to door asking if they could put Obama signs out, and he knocks on the door and the guy's like, "Hey, what? Do I look like someone that vote for Obama? You're trespassing. I could shoot you." Yeah, you know what? I'm a liberal, or I'm left wing. I'm offended by that characterization. Really? Really?
Do I look like I'd vote for Barack Hussein Obama? He had to throw the Hussein in there.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, when Obama, it's like, Saddam Hussein? Barack Hussein? Is there a It's like, shut up. Please shut up. Stop talking. Stop making your mouth go up and down. I want you to stop doing that.
And they filmed that year. It's like, oh yeah, we'll do this now. And if he loses, that'll be great. For all we know, they filmed that part after he won anyway. But just throwing it in there, it's like we're going to remain topical through the whole thing, and we'll change it every year to fit what happened. That's not writing a screenplay. That's just adjusting your trends for the newest pop culture setting or political scene.
Right.
Fuck this entire film. And then of course the third husband, the third husband that she drives to either alcohol or Alaska has to be yeah, well, I was in the National Guard, and I said if anything ever happened, any major attack to this country, I'd go in the morning. Then September 11th it happened. September 12th, I was joined. It's like, fuck you. Really? I said, bad enough I had to sit through American Sniper for the show. Now I gotta have this shit shoveled at me too.
Now he was in her class, right?
I don't know.
I think he was in her class and he came to her Thanksgiving dinner. She had it open to students.
Oh yeah,
and that's why he was there. So like she was fucking around with the professor. She fucked one of her students too.
horrible.
Just bad decisions the whole way through.
Horrible mother. I love how at the end, like her big her big like this is my moment to shine is.
Oh yeah.
The kids are going to college. I'm moving back in with mom. Dream big. You know what the fuck happened to your life? I know what happened to your life. Every decision you ever made. After watching the whole film, if you go back to that first 10 minutes where she has the boyfriend that gets upset because she didn't call him and tell them. All right. She has.
Oh yeah, they were supposed to go out and she didn't call him, and he comes over at like whatever 7 or 8. So I can't get a sitter now, and he's pissed off.
Yeah. So
as he should be.
Right. They've got something set. He comes at the time they've designated to pick her up, and she says, "Oh, I can't get a sitter." And he says, reasonably, "Why didn't you tell me before?" Says, "Well, we can't get a sitter now." Says, "That's not what I asked." And then later, he goes out and comes back later, and they're fighting, and he's like, "It's not your mistakes aren't my responsibility." She says, "You just called my children mistakes." He's like, "Well, you know what? They are, because look where you fucking ended up." I mean, not that silver lining and all, but and then she goes on to prove she makes mistakes by, again, every person she gets involved with.
That's right.
And then she just no real control over her children whatsoever.
Yeah, and what's interesting is when she meets what she ends up doing is she moves to Houston so she can go back to school. She can live with her mother. And she can go back to school and try and provide for her family. And what ends up happening is she ends up falling for the professor and marrying him, who turns out to be an alcoholic. So I would imagine during that whole time, she's obviously she's not in his class anymore because he can get in trouble for sleeping with a student. I'm assuming, because you don't really see her in any classes from that point until she gets divorced again. I'm assuming the entire time that they're married, which seems like it's like just a progression of age, might be at least 2 or 3 years.
Oh, a couple of years at least.
At least. She's not back in school that whole time. She has to pursue it after she gets divorced. So she basically, when that happens, she has to not start over, but she has to pick up where she left off.
Right.
Then she ends up making it. She gets her degree, her master's, and all that. One of her students comes to her Thanksgiving dinner, and then there you go. Now, the one thing that bugged me too is she's supposed to be perceived as someone like at one point in her late 20s, early 30s, then late 30s, early 40s. When she's supposed to be her late 20s, early 30s, I don't buy it at all. She doesn't look like she is. So when she meets her third husband, which is the National Guard guy, he looks like a baby. He looks like he's in his 20s, and she looks like she's in her late 30s, early 40s. When in the film itself, she's supposed to be more close to his age. There might be 7 or 8 year difference, but that's really all it's supposed to be. But the gap feels a lot larger. So anyway,
there's a reason why we don't make movies about real life like this, is because it's not interesting. Everybody, and maybe this shows how fucked in the head this country is right now, that like no one even realizes that the real world's around them every day, that they watch something like this, and it takes putting it on a fucking screen and calling it art, or calling it independent cinema, whatever, and
right.
Giving it an air of sophistication and knowledge and in the know and culture reference, and saying, see, this is life. And it's like, oh wow, that's life. It says, no, life is what you're living every fucking day.
Oh yeah.
And
now, here I have a premise, or I have a scenario for you.
Oh, please, yes.
This film, obviously, it's nominated for its. I'm the only one that can see that.
I forgot that the camera's on. That's why. I was like, oh, ha! I killed Joey.
Dear Lord. Anyway, sorry. Okay, here's the premise. The film is nominated for Best Picture. we're going on record as to say the only reason it is because of what it did over 12 years, and people are buying into that.
I will also go on record as saying, if this year was only a 5 Oscar nominee year, this film would not be nominated.
No, I think it would be.
No. Who?
No, I think there's too much hype around it. A 98 percentile on Rotten Tomatoes.
This film is Avatar. There was too much hype around that film. That's why they knocked it from 5 to 10. To get films like this in here where everyone loved it. It's a huge hit. But, it's not really a fucking Oscar film. This and American Sniper. These are the 2 films that they specifically increased Best Picture window for. Is films like this, so they say, see, we're hip and we're not just picking films for this and that. We're actually picking popular films too. That's what this is for. If this year was only 5 Oscar nominations, they would not be able to squeeze this in over Selma, The Theory of Everything, Grand Budapest. This is leaps and bounds above every other film is leaps and bounds above this one, because all this film is gimmicky and, oh look, I can do understated like real life, but with no real plot or purpose.
Sure. Oh yeah. All right. So here's the premise.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, it's okay. And you kind of answered my question. Take this film, okay? Don't do it over 12 years. Do it over, 12 weeks, like a normal movie is done, 12 or 16 weeks, okay? 3 to 4 months. Get your actors. You can keep Patricia Arquette and Ethan Hawke and everyone else. But the kids, they gradually get older with different actors, like a normal film would do.
Right.
Okay? So, and let's say it's flawless. Like the young kid, the kid that's 12 looks exactly like the kid that's 6. You know what I mean? Just let's do it that way. Like it's perfect. This film, in my opinion, in absolutely no way gets nominated. No way.
No, not in the least.
No. The only reason why it's nominated for Best Picture is because people are buying into the gimmick, the flip book of progression that it's been done over 12 years.
Right.
When you watch this film, you get to grow up with, or you get to watch these kids and everyone grow up and grow older. That's the gimmick, and that's what everyone keeps latching on to. That's the only reason why it's nominated. And honestly, if it does win, that's the only reason why it's going to win too. Because people feel like they're watching something that they've never seen before.
Now, yeah. Entertain, all forms of art, whether it's literature, whether it's painting, sculpture, film, photography, whatever, there's only 2 main focuses. And you can argue with me if you want on this stuff. This is my theory, and I'm sticking to it because I think it makes sense. Is either to entertain or to inform.
Okay.
But they're not exclusive. You can do both. And most good art, that's the difference between, like, say, pornography and the news, and then everything in between. Well, what's supposed to be the news. Everything in between is a combination of entertainment and information. Now, when I say information, you're trying to deliver a message of some kind to your audience, whether it's an emotion or a tone, but you're trying to inform something. All good art does both. It entertains and on some level, and informs on some form. Now, you've got lopsided shit like, say, last Transformers film. Does it entertain? Fuck yeah. Does it inform? On a very rudimentary level. There's a moral involved. They'll say, so if you're somebody that's not too hip on the scene, you may watch films and say, oh yeah, I get it. War's bad. Great. There's a message. Now, American Sniper had a message, and it was entertaining. If you're into that kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right.
No. Right.
My argument with Boyhood is, what is it trying to inform? Now, again, the obvious things. Oh, it's about adolescence. Yeah, that's great and everything, but. You're
10 other movies you could watch that do the same thing. Watch Stand By Me. You'll have a better time.
Right, and to separate a film like this from Transformers, you need to inform beyond the basic message. Great films, Oscar-worthy films, like American Sniper. Is it just about our soldiers and fighting the enemy? No. There are other themes in there about sacrifice, emotional sacrifice, about the trauma of dealing with this kind of thing. I mean, as much as I didn't like the film, there are deeper messages to that film. It's trying to convey the truth behind the reality. This film does not convey truth behind reality. It just conveys reality. It just conveys, okay, here's a single mother and the father and these two obnoxious, stupid kids, and here's them growing up and dealing with life and all the things that happen during life. And nothing is spectacular, and nothing really delves too deeply in any kind of truth behind it. The big thing that I'm getting, that a lot of people are trying to people have to try to come away with something from this film. The big thing is like, oh, it's about how short, that the tragedy of Boyhood is that it ends. So the tragedy, by the time this film ends, it's a fucking victory. Thank God it's fucking ending. I wanted it to end. I wanted his life snuffed out in the first 2 hours. That's how fucking. If you had to follow anybody and just doing their mundane shit,
I thought Grandpa was going to do it too, but it didn't.
Oh, that would have been fucking beautiful. Just put the glass on your head. I've done this. I did this in Nam, and I'll do it again.
Let me tell you something. When he had his hand on his shoulder, and he's ready to throw the clay pigeon, and to say pull. The angle of the shot was he was going to beat his head in with it. That was the angle where he was just going to, come around and smashed right in the back of the head. And you just see his, body just convulsing and shaking. That was the angle. It's like, okay, I've seen this angle before. Someone gets hurt. Someone dies.
What about the scene where Dad takes Mason on a camping trip, just the two of them?
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for it. It's like they stumble upon like the drug dealers. Like, oh, what's going on here?
Or it turns into the fucking Hills Have Eyes. I mean, just something. Anything.
We didn't mean to stumble on your marijuana field, sir. We'll just be going. I don't think you're going anywhere, boy.
You squeal like a pig.
It's like this big tease every 15 minutes. A real movie's just around the corner. No, it's not. Compare this film to Happiness.
Oh, I'd watch Happiness. I'd watch Happiness back to back to back to back all day long.
I contend a more realistic film than this film. Oh, another thing that happens in this realistic film is that she has the landscapers at her house that one time, and she tells the younger one, "You should be in school. You're a smart kid. So you go to the community college." Then, like an hour later, or years later, he's the manager of a restaurant, and apparently this restaurant, the managers aren't effeminate and awkward because they don't have to be to make Mason look better. And it's like, oh yeah, I took your advice, and I went to community college, and now I'm the manager of the store, and I'm going for my bachelor's degree. It's like, it's all to you, thanks. Welcome to Fantasyland, America. Welcome to Fantasyland.
And when he gives her the news, at least if I was him, I'd be a little like, wow. I thought you'd be a little bit more excited about the news I'm handing you. She's just kind of like, oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
I think she was just in shock that she touched a life in a positive way. That has never fucking happened to her
It didn't
before.
fucking drive him to drink. So, after that day, I became a raging alcoholic, killed my family.
Dude, they didn't give the film enough time. Give it a couple more years. And now if she starts coming back to that restaurant every week, give it, eventually, one night he'll come out there, sure, askew, carrying like a bottle of wine. That, I'm in charge of this place, and you're gonna eat pasta. Just tonight's spaghetti night. It's just yeah. Everyone's praising the reality of this fucking movie, and just
nah, it's terrible. I had no idea he did Bad News Bears, Linklater. I haven't watched it. I've avoided it. I love the original so much. I don't think I could.
I have to admit, I did watch it. It's not bad. It's got Billy Bob Thornton plays.
Yeah, but doesn't he? He's not even like that bad of a mentor. I mean, like fucking Walter Matthau. He's like drinking and driving. He arrives fucking wasted, or he's buzzed.
No, it's
giving
not,
kids beer at the end of the movie. It just he's a terrible person.
It's not too far off. The
really?
biggest problem is that it's PG-13.
Well, the original was PG, but back then
Back
was PG was basically an R-rated film.
Yeah, no, it's PG-13, and it's not half as bad as the PG original was.
Okay, all right.
It's not bad, but still fuck him for doing it.
Oh yeah,
it shouldn't have been done. That's all I'm gonna say. But I just thank God we're finally reviewing an Oscar film that I can hate, because I fucking hate this movie.
Yeah. Oh, and Linklater, he did another series of films that people are really in fucking love with, which is the Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight trilogy.
I have the third one, and I honestly grabbed it because of what's his name,
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, who apparently is Linklater's big draw.
He's his boy.
Yeah, I grabbed it because I've been in kind of an Ethan Hawke kick. So
okay.
And
that's the whole reason why he's in Boyhood all the way back to 2002.
Right.
Is because they collaborated on Before Sunrise, which came out in 1995.
And you know what it is?
And,
every now and then I feel like I have to watch an adult film, like a movie written for adults.
Right.
Because I don't watch enough of them, and so I remember reading the outline, or like the synopsis of Before Midnight. I was like, yeah, that's a film for adults. I think I need to watch that. I haven't watched it, but I have it.
Okay. I haven't watched any of them, so I guess I should watch Before Sunrise.
Well, yeah, apparently you should watch them in order. But I'm curious.
Yeah, that's the point.
And I'm not shitting on him as a director as a whole, but honestly, what the fuck was this? It's an interesting. If this wasn't nominated for Best Picture, I wouldn't be so angry. If this didn't have 98%, if more people were shitting on this as like, what's the big fucking deal? Then I'd be like, hey, you know what? He tried something. It was an experiment. But the more adulation, unbridled adulation this film gets, and some of the reviews are even like they know. I had like one of the first ones in
Yeah, usually get the most honest reviews from the really early reviews. And then what ends up happening... No, let me finish. What ends up happening is you get a film like this that comes out, right? And like the first handful of reviews might give it a good review, but say, it's really not that interesting. It's kind of boring, but I get what he was trying to do, so I'm giving it a good review. Then, in maybe a couple of those, you get, this film is brilliant, it's a masterpiece, and it kind of snowballs into more people saying, maybe that guy is right. So they kind of review it. It's people kind of bounce off of each other and review the same way, it seems. It's getting so much hype that any review that comes out for it now usually is a good one.
Yeah. Well, all I meant was that, like, one of the top reviews I catch on the Top Critics illustrates my point where it starts. It's a good review, but it's like it starts off like, at least the quote was like, we can quibble with the small stuff in Boyhood. Supporting performances are variable. The sister drops out as a dramatic character because she's getting less pretty. Yeah. See, there again. The daughter starts fading in the background because what can I do with her? She's not that attractive. I mean, and again, I'm not knocking her as a person. I'm saying from a Hollywood standpoint, you can tell they fade her out of the film because she grows up more awkward than the fucking models that Mason starts dating on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah, even when she forgets to pick up her brother and she's got like purple hair, the girl her friend that's in the room with her is 10 times prettier than she is because she was picked that week.
The rest are like, yeah, we're actresses now because they'll hire us because we look like actresses. And she's like, yeah, they hired me when I was like 8. They have no choice.
They have to keep me.
Yeah, I'm pretty much grandfather.
He is so lucky that neither one of nobody in this film like passed away in the 12 years. Decided to drop out of acting in any way or whatever. I mean, it's just pure luck.
No, luck. But by saying that, what you're implying is that he had some kind of script that if somebody died, he'd be dead. Or like, oh, that's it, it's over, or went through some major rewriting. You cannot convince me that he didn't write this shit like 2 months before filming every year, or periodically. Okay, here's where we are now. Here's what everybody looks like. Let's do this and that. What's happening in the news today? Oh, Harry Potter's coming out. We got to film a scene with this. And just that's all he's doing. He's every year he's like taking, all right, we want to gotta steer it in this direction, but let's take everything else that's happening and work it into there. If Boyhood Boy died, that's the only thing that would have killed him. And everybody else was expendable.
Well, no, I think
even
if
then,
Patricia Arquette or Ethan Hawke, if something happened with them, it would have been it would have hurt the film.
It wouldn't have hurt the film. It would have rewritten the script. That's all it is. That's all there is. Maybe if Ethan Hawke died, maybe the professor dad doesn't become an alcoholic.
Maybe. That's true. That's true.
And you know what? If fucking Mason dies, if there's an accident and that kid wipes out halfway through the film, guess what? The film is called Parenthood now. Fucking done.
You know what's interesting too? The alcohol father, the professor dad, when she divorces him or leaves because he's abusive verbally and physically, there's a little conversation that they all have where it's, do you think we're going to see them again? Or the two kids? Because they set up this whole premise of where the kids were actually really close. It was like fucking Brady Bunch style.
Yeah.
It's like no one was really fighting with each other. The two boys were playing video games. They had a great time. The two girls were like best friends. It's like it was perfect except for the alcoholic, stepfather. So the small conversation they had when everything goes to shit is, do you think we're going to see them ever again? And Mom, Patricia Arquette, is like, I don't know. I hope so. End scene. You never see them again the rest of the film.
Yeah.
You'd think at some point down the line they would cross paths again.
Oh, and how about the fact that the actress playing the sister turns out not to be a good actress?
Yeah, she's terrible.
So the rest of the film, he actually has to write where the fact, like the last scene she's in where they're having breakfast. He's like, I don't want anything. I'm not hungry. So what's wrong? I just really drank way too much. Like that. Yeah, it's like play hungover. Just you move as little as possible. And then at this party, yeah, she's so awkward she can't think of anything to say. Just keep her from fucking talking. It's just, and again, there's no integrity to a movie if you're if you're able to move everything around to account for changes in every 12 years. It's not a real film. It's
right.
He didn't write a screenplay. He just coordinated events every 6 months or every year or what have you. It's bullshit, fucking bullshit. And the dialogue, yeah, it was realistic. That does not make brilliant dialogue. Look at some of your films that had go back to even All About Eve.
Oh right, sure.
Fucking brilliant. Do people talk like that? No. You know why? Because people aren't that fucking brilliant. I as a writer, as talking with other writers, dialogue is a hard thing to write, and one thing I've always said is that you have to strike this boundary because you need to write dialogue that sounds realistic. But you can't write realistic dialogue because real people don't talk right. People talk stupid.
Sure.
They repeat things. And
that's the problem with Mamet. I mean, his stuff's pretty brilliant as far as dialogue goes, but people don't talk like that.
That's why people love his shit too. It's because I remember the first time I watched one. I think House of Games is the first one I ever watched. And I was like,
House of Cards.
House of Cards. Sorry,
House of Cards. Yeah.
No, that was House of Games.
Maybe you're right.
No, it's House of Games. It's House of Games.
Is it House of Games? Okay, you're right.
And I remember I don't get it. It's so badly written. Why is this popular? Because I didn't understand. And I didn't get it. And years later, I got it. And again, that's a stylized example, but yeah, they're talking like real people talk, which means I don't want to fucking hear that. I hear real people talk every day. Nah, 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 nah. And you know what? They fucking annoy. I want to hear brilliant dialogue. I want to hear deep person. I want to hear dialogue that sounds real, but was actually written by somebody who's trying to say something, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Right. So fuck this movie for being in the Oscars.
It can go fuck itself.
If it was up for just Best Picture, I wouldn't be as insulted. But it's
screenplay. That is a real kick in the dick.
I've seen 4 out of the 5 films for Best Screenplay. The only one I haven't seen yet is Foxcatcher. The other films, this film is up against...
And let me tell you something. Foxcatcher ain't going to fucking light your fire.
I'm compared to this...
I'm telling you now.
Compared to this, I'm sure I'll get an erection.
Compared to this, yeah, you might even... Yeah.
But you're comparing this film's writing. So by writing, I'm kind of focusing on story structure and dialogue, which is just let's just put those two out there. You're up
Sure.
against Birdman, which I've just seen recently, and we're not reviewing right now, but it's fucking brilliant. The Grand Budapest Hotel, which
Right.
totally stylized, completely unrealistic dialogue, fucking brilliant. Nightcrawler, just dead on, great screenplay, very understated, and it's even like the non-dialogue scenes that are more.
Oh yeah,
just
definitely.
fucking. And amongst all this stuff, somebody filmed themselves taking a shit, and it's up for best screenplay.
Steaming pile of shit.
Wait a minute. This year we shave his head.
Yeah, and we have the stepdad laugh at him.
Fuck you, Richard. Try writing a real film. You know what? I'm hoping I go back and I see like the before sunrise, before sunset, before midnight films, and I hope I love them. I'm hoping like, wow, this is great. This is in-depth drama about a relationship, and I'm really hoping I love them, because then at least I'll be able to understand why people are so willing to give him the benefit of the doubt with this completely uninspired, and that for me, uninspiring. There's nothing inspiring. There's nothing there.
The only thing that he's ever done that I truly, truly love, and you may disagree, is Dazed and Confused. Love that fucking movie.
I'll say Slacker for me.
I like Slacker too,
Yeah.
but Dazed and Confused is excellent.
But even again,
Really good.
Dazed and Confused is about a bunch of stoners, but there's a story there,
Sure.
and there's dialogue there that's actually like, okay, here's this happening, that. This, you know how like we'll watch the trailers and they put all the best parts of the film in the trailer?
That's what this did.
That's what this did, and that's how fucking sad this film is. Life doesn't give you bumpers. That's the most inspiring moment of this entire film.
It really is.
Life doesn't give you bumpers, and you know what? There's nothing to build on that.
I'll tell you,
I would say there's no metaphor to build on top of that. That's it. It stops there. Now we're just gonna, now let's go look at butterflies.
Yeah, and the fucking music throughout the whole film, they do that too to try to signify the time period as well. It's like, stop it. Just please stop it with music every 15 minutes to tell me I'm in a different year. I'm so tired of hearing it.
It's like traveling through time.
Right. There's that. I had a thought process. I fucking lost it.
Shit, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Music.
No, I don't remember where I was going with it. Fuck.
Message.
No.
Light bumpers. Best parts are in the trailer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you. The music they use in the trailer is that your typical indie hipster douche song. It's essentially, it's a fucking car insurance commercial. That's the kind of music that they put in all these fucking indie movies these days. You know, all of these artists, they sing that one song that they hope gets picked up by the next fucking Allstate commercial. It's like, stop it.
Holy shit! You know what, Joey? I always fight against you when against the using of the term hipster, about labeling things hipster. But this film embodies the hipster douchebag model that you are always talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is just the kind of thing where you could see talking to any of these fucking hipster thing. Well, you just don't understand, man. It's like, well, explain it to me. What the fuck's it about? It's not about anything, and so it's about everything. Like, no. But really, what's the message? It's about Boyhood, man. Shut the fuck you. Fuck you and your scruffy little beard and your stupid fucking hat. Fuck you.
Listen, if I want to watch something about nothing, I'll watch fucking Seinfeld. At least I'll enjoy it. Seriously.
I mean, just.
I think we should rate this. I think we're done.
Yeah, dude, I want to be cruel on this. Now, we can't give it 1 star, obviously.
No. We can't give it anything. It's got to be below 5, because 5 would mean that it's average.
Well, it is
not.
Honestly, this is average. This film is disgustingly average.
I don't think it's an average film. I think it's worse than that.
No, I think it's totally average. I would say 5. I have to say 5, and here's my argument.
5 would almost warrant a second viewing.
No,
I don't think I ever would.
Viewing. 5, you know what 5 is, Joey? 5 is 5 is, well, yeah, you know.
Well, that's how I described the film. I told my wife that she wanted to see this movie, and over the last week, I said, I need to watch Boyhood. I need to watch The Theory of Everything this week. And she's like, I don't feel like watching a movie. I just want to watch Breaking Bad. And I said, that's probably a good choice.
Well, I had the same thing with Holly. I told her I had to watch the films, and I was over to her place, and I didn't have the films there. And like, oh, we can't watch them. So then I told her tonight, says, you know what? You are so lucky I did not have Boyhood over at your house. You are so fucking lucky I did not have this film for us to watch. So why? So it's like, oh, really that bad? Oh, wait till you listen to the episode, because this film is fucking just, you would have hated me. Even if we tried to fast forward through it, you still would have hated me.
Yeah.
It's just. But honestly, this film and that's the insult. It's not that this film is bad. It's like Avatar was bad. That was a bad film that got nominated for Best Picture. This is just a film that's, It's like, oh, yeah. He did something interesting, but he didn't really do anything with it. And you're right. That's the big insult of the film. He took all the time and effort to shoot a film over 12 years and did absolutely fucking nothing with it. It was so uninspiring. I think 5 stars is the perfect insult for this film because it's not like, you suck. It's like, no, you don't even suck. You just take up space.
Yeah, and that's how I described it to my wife. I said, oh, I watched that movie, Boyhood. And she goes, oh, what'd you think of it? And I just went, That was my exact reaction.
So I vote for 5 stars.
5?
Yes.
Okay. I can live with 5. I can't live with anything more.
Yeah, I agree. Rated 5 stars. 135,000 votes. 9 stars is the highest rating at 25%.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck these people.
There's a lot of hipster douches out there.
A lot of hipster douches. The highest, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is hipster douchebag shit. The highest demographic is 8.9 for males under 18. How many kids under 18 are watching this 3-hour film and going, "Get mad? Can I give it more than 10?" Really? What kid under the age of 18 in this fucking year, this decade, has an attention span large enough to watch a 2-hour and 48-minute film about fucking nothing?
When we started this episode, didn't you say it was 8.1 on IMDb?
Yeah, it was.
It's 8.3 now.
I'm sorry. I might have misspoke or might have gotten more reviews.
Fine,
no, it could be both.
136,000.
I would love to meet the kid under the age of 18 that's sitting through this fucking film. It's like, oh, yeah, fuck that. Lowest demographic is females aged 45 and older, probably because they like the mom as much as we do. Only 7.9 average. And it actually ties with females aged 30 to 44. So as on a whole, since it's a male-centric film that kind of doesn't have any positive female characters in it. I mean, Mom's technically a positive female character, but she really just doesn't have her shit together. Obviously, more men are liking this film, and apparently more boys. Well, of course, what underage adolescent, as opposed to the overage adolescents, what adolescent male is watching this film where this awkward, goofy, introverted idiot keeps landing hot chicks every time he bumps into them in the film?
Yeah, right.
Right? And that's a good lead-in for our next movie review, The Theory of Everything.
Yeah.
Which is more realistic than this film because it actually happened.
That's right.
So do you want to end this episode and we'll start up the next episode?
Oh, fuck yeah.
But yeah, Boyhood, piece of shit, just on principle. And I'm predicting no Best Picture, and I'm definitely predicting no original screenplay. And if it does, that, of course, me predicting that means it's going to win at least one of those. And if it does, I will go on a rampage.
Oh, I don't blame you. Oh, fucking hell.
Our next review will be a little shorter.
Yeah, no, I think so.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, so let's go ahead and end the show then.
Yes.
That's the wrong theme music. I'm all out of fucking whack here.
It's been a wacky night. And this was episode number 150.
161.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And we reviewed Boyhood, in case you missed that in the last hour or so.
Here, I got out the soft, douchey, hipster douche music.
There you go.
Just to end the show.
And then and tune in for episode 152, in which we'll be reviewing the
162.
Sorry, 162, The Theory of Everything. And if you're catching up on the Oscars, be sure to check out episodes 160 and 159, in which we reviewed American Sniper and the Grand Budapest Hotel.
That's right. And sorry I've been slacking. All 4 episodes will be going up tomorrow.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Because I've been fucking busy. But I'm off tomorrow, so they'll all go up tomorrow.
Now, you could have said that off the show, and no one would know that we're behind on putting the episodes up.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Okay.
They'll all be backdated.
All right.
No one will know.
Until you
well,
tell.
now
That's
they
my
do.
point. That's now they do know.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Anyway, all right. So you can go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. You can download all the shows there. You can listen to the show live through live stream, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be going to Ustream next week. I have that feeling.
Wonder why?
I wonder why. Because oddly enough, not only has my computer not been pushing at like 60% to 90% CPU use the entire time we've been recording, it's been somewhere around 3%. Live stream totally fucks my computer in the ass. So we are absolutely going to Ustream. We're going to try it out at least one time next week, see what happens. But anyway, you can go to iTunes as well. You can download the shows there. While you're there, make sure you go ahead and leave us a review. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. You can go to our Tumblr page at Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. You want to leave us email? The address is themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. You can also leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can also do a search for us online. Just make sure you put Moviesucktastic in your search. And most importantly, you can download our Android app for your phone or tablet. And it's totally free. You can do everything I just said through the app. You should definitely check that one out. And that'll do it. You got any parting words of wisdom?
Life doesn't give you bumpers, man.
You don't need bumpers. Life doesn't give you bumpers. Yeah, but I bowl better.
You know, it'd be great if this film turned into The Purge 3 at some point. There are so many other good films that this could have turned into.
So what about just, what was the one film that he did?
Sinister?
Sinister?
Yeah.
Sinister 2. The opening of that film.
Oh,
That's how this film ends. The opening of the first film.
This film should have ended with Mason killing them all and then filming it and then like walking into the screen. Oh, did I just give away that ending?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Thanks, you cock. On that note,
You see it coming. Come on.
We'll talk to you next week. What a dick. Ah.